Masechet Zevahim Daf Kof Gimal Amud Aleph by the top Mishnah. Kosh lo zachav mizbeach b'fsarah. Whatever the mizbeach does not get the right to the meat of the olah, lo zachu kohanim borah. The kohanim do not get the hide. Meaning, if the mizbeach does not burn what it's supposed to burn, the kohanim cannot keep the hide. Shneimar olah ish. Olah she'al netal ish has to be counted for a person. Olah shenishchata shelo lishma, if not slaughtered for the wrong purpose, af pi shelo hide al talab, even though it did not count for the owner, olah the kohanim, it still goes to the kohanim, the hide. Echad l'taish ve'echad l'shav, whether it's for a man or woman, or him the kohanim, the hide goes for the kohanim. Orot k'deshim kalim l'ba'alim, the hide of a kalim korban goes to the owners. Orot koche kachim, the kohanim, the koche kachim hide goes to the kohanim. Kavachomer, because it's kavachomer. Uma im olah shelo zahu b'zera, in the case of an olah where the kohanim do not eat meat, zahu b'ora, they still get the hide. Koche kachim, regarding the regular kochim, and zahu b'zera, where they do get the meat. Enodin shizku b'ora, so for sure they get their hide. Don't bring that the mizbeach is a disproof to that, because it never gets hide, and therefore you can't bring it as a proof, or disproof rather. To run, olah ish, the pasuk says the olah of a person. Pirat la olah hekdesh excludes a hekdesh olah. Diru b'da kontra b'da. Rabbi Yosef Rabbi Yodamer, pirat la olah garim excludes the olah of a ger. My pirat la olah means it's excluding the olah of hekdesh. Mar Rabbi Chia bar Yosef, pirat la olah mava'amet ha'matarat. This excludes an olah that was brought from a spare. Let's say the owner died before it was born. This is considered an extra animal, or it was replaced, for example, if it got lost. This is the residual. That makes sense according to the opinion that holds that the extra residual korbanot go towards the community korbanot. According to opinion, they go according to private korbanot. How do you explain it? The Gemara says, he mentions the olah. Where's the first olah? Over here means the first olah, which means the korban that was used first in the olah was from an unused asham. Piece olah lebedek. It's a different explanation. He says that what in olah it excludes an olah that was used for donated for funding for the Bet HaMikdash's renovations and general money needed. The upkeep. Obviously, it's not. You don't need the Torah. You don't need to teaching this because according to the opinion, it holds that the olah is held midoraita if it's used for bedek habayit for the upkeep. According to the opinion that holds it is not hold midoraita. Honey, the side applies to meat. There's no kedusha of the ortafis, but the hide definitely does take hold. Also take one case of he's also playing it as a residual olah. Who's according to Bida, is according to Bida. Bida himself retracted from his opinion. Then it says Shishan Devat 6 chests they had in the Mikdash that were used for korbanot donations. The olah ba'amnei, they were also used for the olah donations that were from the residuals. Those that kohanim did not get a right to the hide. You, in essence, just disqualified and just knocked out all halacha of Yehoyada the Kohen. Then Mishnah says, it's the following that he learned, Hashem hu Hashem, Hashem Hashem. This language, it's an Hashem, he's guilty, he shall be bringing Hashem for Hashem. Any type of thing that's brought because of a hatat or because of an Hashem should be used for an olah. Habasar Hashem, the meat is for Hashem, or the kohanim that they hide is for the kohanim. So seemingly, Rabbi Dan did not argue against Rabbi Hananiah. It means he agreed that the kohanim do get the hide. Now, how can we see that now that Rabbi Dan holds that he does not get the hide? How would you explain the brayta? Marleh says as follows: talking about a case where the guy who made all his possessions hekdesh. Someone makes all his possessions hekdesh. He had animals that were eligible to be put on the beach. Males and female animals. It says the males should be sold for the olah korbanot. And the females should be sold for shamim. The money, those should go towards the funding for the Bet HaBayit. Rishon which says the males themselves will be part of the korban. And the females should be sold for the shamim. We should bring the money for an Allah. Ush'ar nechasim, Yipulu b'degavayim, and the rest of the money should go for the Beit HaMikdash. So we see that Yudah holds that regarding Allah, it's excluding the Allah Hekdesh, that the Kohanim do not get it. I feel to be sure that Adam Cholek, be sure, even according to Yeshua says that someone does get uh, the right to differentiate where he wants the Hekdesh to go, like yani for Korban or not. Hanim does that means that only refers to the meat. But regarding the hide, Tafis it could take hold. Therefore, since the hide now belongs to the Beit Hamikdash, the Kohanim don't get it. Another opinion regarding the explanation. He says this excludes the olah of a convert. We said, what does that mean? Why is that case? How can be excluded from the pasuk? It says people. There's a person. The Gemara says, this refers to a case where the ger died and he has no relatives. So a ger converts, he loses all his relatives. He's considered related to them, and therefore. And therefore, if he dies without being married, without kids, etc., he's considered dying without relatives. That's this case. Okay, so number 9. Olat ish, the hide, the Allah of a person's alien. Olat ish, I know male, a man's olah. Olat nashim abadim min. I know that if it was a olah of a convert or a woman or a slave, Allah, I think converts taken out. Olah, the hide of Allah. Riba, the Torah included in Cain, not to the Mara. That's why I mentioned man in the first place. It counts for a person. There's the case that the olah was done incorrectly, like slaughtered with the intention to eat or bring outside their own time or place. In that case, they don't get the hide. Maybe I think also would be included a case of the hides if they don't go to Kohanim, if it's slaughtered not for the right purpose. Since it does not count for the owners of Korban, therefore the Kohanim should not get it. Therefore, Tamul the pasuk says, any case of the hide, or ha'ala and the ala or ala. Now, when it says the hide, I don't know that he only gets the hide. Or koshim and they get other covenant as well. Lamar, asher hikri that he brought. Yachol shnim yerabe kav koshim kalim. Even though kalim, maybe you might think kalim also included the hide goes to the kohanim. Lamar, ola ma ola koshim af koshim. It's only limited to koshim. Similarly, that the hides of kalim are excluded, and they don't go to the kohanim, but goes to the owner. Rishma Mishnah says, "Or ha'ala, the hide of the Allah, and the Allah, and the Allah. Orot kosher koshim, and the kosher koshim. The dino and logically also be kosher koshim. Ma Allah should look in case of Allah where the kohanim don't want to meet, because the meat gets burnt. Zachuba they still get the hide. Kosher koshim change zachuba. So in the case of koshim where they do get the right for the meat and the inches, so they should get the hide. Let's bring Mizbeach as a disproof. Because it gets the meat but not the hide. Where I said, but over here, Mizbeach does not get a partial, it never gets the hide. Tomorrow, you say that how can you compare it to the case of the Kohanim with the hide, where they at least get sometimes the meat and the hide? Maybe I think they also get fully. Rabbi says, the type of is teaching you that only applies to the olah. Because the hide follows the meat. The bulls and goats that are burnt for Yom Kippur, they're burnt with their hide. The hatat, asham, and zevachim, the shamim, and the eaten matan lakohen, they give them to the kohen. Ratsu, if they want to, mafshetin, then they could skin it before cooking it. Loratu, they don't want to. Achlin notan agav oran, you can eat it with the hide attached. Kochim kalim lo'alim, the kalim belong to the owners. Ratsu, therefore they want. Mafshetin, then you can skin it. Ratsu, they don't want. Achlin notan afgav, they can also eat it with the hide. Avalar organ olah, and marba v'hashit olah mitachotam zechad. Already it says that you have to skin it before. Therefore you might think they don't get the hide. Therefore possesses does get it. Lo he says this be for him. When it's a case of a kohen who's a tevuyom, mechuzar kippurim or nonen. And then someone passed away by minan, relative. Mechuzar kippurim means he still didn't bring a korban to make him tahor. And a tevuyom, someone who's tameh, who just dipped, he has to wait from that time. She says, Yachol, you would have thought is kuba basari, he doesn't get the right for the meat. Shehu la'achila, that because the meat's meant for eating, is kuba roba, he should still get the hide. She'ino la'achila is not meant for eating. Lamar lo yeh, therefore says for him. Prat mechuzar kippurim, tevuyom abonen, it's the mechuzar kippurim, tevuyom abonen. Tanakama, let me take the Medina. How come the Tanakama did not learn this Kavachomer also. Gemara says melted that same Kavachomer not approved because sometimes the Torah is able to learn something from a Kavachomer, but it still spells it out. Rabbi Shmuel Kohen Shmuel, Mahai Asher Hikli, B'mai Avdi was the pasuk. Prat the Tvuyom Shofasai Kivin Gonen. He says excluding these three people. Particularly Lo yeah, why doesn't he use the same pasuk as Rabbi Shmuel? The other opinion that says that you learned it from these two words Lo yeah. Rabbi Shmuel Tamei because he is as follows. Amar Rabbi Yochanan Rabbi Shmuel Benen Ma'ar Be'olah Lo yet mentions Be'olah. It should be for him. You know, Rabbi Hashem Lo yet also mentions Be'asham for him. Ma'alana, it's supposed to happen just like the base of the Asham. The bones are mutar for the Kohen. Afkan, what what is over here as well. The bones of Allah are also mutar for a Kohen, and therefore he already used it for something else. Therefore, he can't use it for this. The Gemara says mufne. It must be that it's extra. For the words are extra to be duresh because it's considered extra, and therefore able to establish a gzer shavah. The lo mufne if it wasn't for you, able to ask a question. Ma'ala Hashem sheken besaro mutar. You think how can you compare it to nasham, which is different than the case of the meat? Right? It says lo yeah. Therefore, pasuk says for him. Kalai today must be an extra pasuk, and therefore you're able to use the gzer shavah. Men